This is Mark Newsom, Mr. Marketing. Welcome to this special presentation entitled 5 Really Simple Things You Can Do to Make Your Client Relationship Management Goals More Attainable, Part 1. Entrepreneur, how to roll out the red carpet even if you're working on a shoestring budget. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is going to focus on one of the most important yet least talked about aspects of your business. That mainly being client relationship management goals and how you're going to reach them on a shoestring budget. In this video, you're going to discover 5 really simple things that you need to do right now so that you can reach your client relationship management goals without having to break the bank. So take a look at these 5 simple, almost you might say common sense type goals, and see which one of these you can start applying to your business, if not all of them, right now. So here is client relationship management tip number 1. Entrepreneur, make sure the temperature in your office is tolerable. I mean, personally, have you ever gone into one of these mom and pop local car repair places? If you live anywhere where the climate gets cold during the wintertime, typically they'll have some little minuscule space heater in the corner that just isn't cutting it. And of course, in the summertime, it's unbearably hot. By the same token, you can't expect your employees to work at maximum efficiency and proficiency if they're in an office that's too hot in the summer and too cold in the wintertime. This is sort of self-sabotaging. So here is client relationship management tip number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you've got comfortable furniture. Again, if you have people, potential clients, waiting in a reception area and they're not comfortable, when they go into this meeting with you, ladies and gentlemen, they're already psychologically, they're not in the mood to be closed. And by the same token, you can't expect your best employees to do their best when they're working in chairs or seats that are not comfortable. In other words, the work environment in general. But here's something else. If you're a professional speaker and you have a company book these venues where you're going to be speaking, ladies and gentlemen, before you go out there and speak, go out and sit down in those chairs, because there's nothing worse than trying to get an audience to focus when they're not comfortable. And you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever tried to sit in a chair for an hour and it starts to get physically uncomfortable, then psychologically your mind just shuts off. And by the same token, you go into a potential meeting with a prospective client and they're not comfortable in the chairs or the seating arrangement, you're working against yourself. Now here is client relationship management tip number 3. Entrepreneur, if you're going to do some serious negotiating, or if you're trying to, sign up a prospective client or a customer, make sure you take them away from the office noise. If you don't have an actual conference room, then you better get a room that I refer to as the quiet room. Get them away from the general office noise, the phone ringing, the chatter of employees and all that sort of stuff. They've got to be able to focus on what you're talking about. And they can't do that with all these other distractions going on. Here is client relationship management tip number 4. Entrepreneur, take advantage of your wall space. Get your plaques and your certificates. If you go into a doctor's office or a psychologist or any of these professional people, CPAs, they've got their plaques and their certificates on the wall. Now, I'm not just talking about, the pictures of the celebrities, but if you have anybody in your industry that's respected, that's a heaveweight, maybe you just met them at a conference and you can get a picture, get that up on your wall. Don't just have the pictures of local artists. Something that's all good, but make sure you take advantage of every available marketing tool in your office. This is part of your branding and your imaging. Now, here is client relationship management tip number 5. Entrepreneur, ladies and gentlemen, make sure your reception area is clutter free and neat. Don't have, it's nothing worse. You go into a dental office and they got magazines in there, but they're ripped and torn, or they're 3, 4, 5 years out of date. You got to be kidding me. Make sure you send the right message. The lighting, all of this stuff is important. Don't have these lights beaming down on people and they're uncomfortable. Make sure you're setting a professional tone. Now, it doesn't mean you got to go out and spend a gazillion dollars, but just make sure it's neat, it's clean, no dust. Make sure you're sending the message of professionalism. Entrepreneur, if you do these 5 simple things, it's a whole lot easier for you to reach your client relationship management goals. You can add an additional 25% to your bottom line. Do so in the next 90 days or less without having to add any new customers or clients. Then our entrepreneur is highly recommended you grab that free 9-page special report. Just head over to youcanmarketonlinenow.com/sales so that you can get it. This is Mark Newsom, Mr. Marketing. We'll see you again next time on the Marketing Minute.